Haruto had a scar across his left hand. Not a fresh wound, an old one, faded but stubborn, like a story that refuses to be forgotten. As a boy, Haruto loved building kites, delicate, soaring things that danced higher than the trees. But every kite he made would crash. Some tore apart in the winds, some tangled hopelessly in the branches, and every time, the village boys laughed. "Maybe you're not meant to fly anything, Haruto," they said. Each broken kite, each mocking voice, cut deeper than any sharp twig or fallen stone. But Haruto kept tying new strings, kept patching torn paper, kept running against the wind. Years passed. The other boys grew bored of teasing and moved on to other games. But Haruto stayed with the broken kites, stayed with the sting of failure, stayed with the quiet stubbornness of someone who refused to quit. One evening, after another torn kite fluttered helplessly to the ground, Haruto sat alone under the twisted maple tree. He stared at his bleeding fingers, the frayed string wrapped tight around his hand, and thought, maybe they're right. Maybe some people are meant to fall. The ache in his chest felt heavier than any kite he had ever tried to lift. And for a moment, just one small moment, he almost believed it. But before Haruto could tear the kite apart in anger, an old man passing by stopped. He watched silently for a while, then sat beside Haruto without saying a word. Finally, with a voice rough like old paper, he said, "You think falling means you failed. It doesn't. It means you tried to touch the sky." Haruto looked at him, not understanding. The old man smiled, pointing at the broken kites scattered around. "These are not signs of failure. These are roots. Every tear, every fall, every bruise, they are planting something inside you. One day, boy, you'll build something that won't fall. And when you do, it will be because of every single crash you survived." If this light speaks to something inside you, subscribe and ring the bell. Maybe it's time to stop hiding your own. That night, Haruto didn't sleep. He sat by the broken pieces, fingers tracing every ripped edge, every torn line. For the first time, he didn't see failures scattered around him. He saw lessons, maps. Each broken kite had taught him something the perfect ones never could. The wind's tricks, the paper's weakness, the stubborn strength needed to rebuild again and again. And somewhere in the middle of that long, sleepless night, something shifted. Not outside, inside. Haruto realized his scars weren't signs he should give up. They were signs he was ready for more. Weeks turned into months. Haruto studied the wind instead of fighting it. He chose stronger paper, tighter knots, lighter frames. This time, he didn't build a kite to impress anyone. He built it to honor every failure he had endured. The day he launched it, the whole village gathered, partly out of curiosity, partly expecting another crash. Haruto stood alone in the open field, the kite trembling in his hands. He closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the scars on his palms, the strength in his arms. And then, he ran. The kite soared, not wildly, not perfectly, but steadily, higher and higher, until it disappeared into the open blue. No one laughed that day. They watched in silence as Haruto's kite disappeared into the sky. A small, stubborn miracle stitched together from every broken dream before it. Haruto smiled quietly, not because he had finally won, but because he finally understood. The pain wasn't the enemy. It was the blueprint, the teacher, the roots. Every scar, every fall, every tear had built the wings he needed. And maybe, just maybe, the same is true for you. What broken pieces in your life are secretly shaping your greatest flight?